Hi everyone, this is Apple coming back at you. I'm actually in an okay kind of mood. I'm actually like, I don't know, I'm in like better spirits, but like, I just wanted to talk to you guys. I know that I've been missing off the scene for about a week, and like before that, I was missing for like an entire month. I'm just going through stuff, you know what I mean? And today I actually do feel a whole lot better, but whoa. Man, I've been stressed the house, and I feel like it's starting to like really wear on me. Yeah, like I don't know, man, it's kind of just weird because like I have so many tools in my tool chest that like I go through stuff that like I know that makes me feel a lot better. Like I know how to talk to myself. I'm very I coddle myself and I talk to myself like in the sense where I'm trying to be my own cheerleader, and I'm trying to I'm really good at that, right? And so like it is working, but I feel like wow, it's like really taking a toll on me. But I just wanted to share with you guys because I'm like, wow, like, so every time like crap happens in my life, am I going to like not make YouTube videos? Am I just gonna like disappear for like a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Like, you know what I mean? And, I just figured like, why not share? I mean, because like, everybody goes through a hard time, everybody goes through it. So as you guys know about like the other two videos I made about alleged medical kidnapping and stuff like that, I'm actually still going through this crap. Okay, I know that I got to a point where I was just like, I'm just gonna release this and let it go, just for my emotional betterment, because like I felt like, yeah, this was like really stressing me out. It was just getting way too much for me, and I just really needed to breathe and give myself a break, put things into better perspective, because it's just not doable. Like when I have like all of my mind, all my feelings, my emotions, my thought, my intentions, my every fiber of my being dealing with this one thing, this other stuff over here is being neglected. And then so it would be me trying to think about what I'm like, worrying about an outcome, worrying about what other people are thinking, worrying about what other people are going to do, like the whole shebang. Okay, and then in the middle somewhere, then I have to take care of my regular responsibilities, like cleaning the house, taking care of the children, running errands, like just doing like my regular routine. And then over here, like I was kind of neglecting myself, like things that I really need to do in order to have any joy or any joy in my life, and things that keep me excited about dealing with all this other stuff. And like this was just kind of falling away, and if it fell away, and all I was left with was this stuff over here. And yeah, so like I said, it was just really getting to me. It has gotten to me. I should have shut off my phone. But I just like, I don't know, I just figured that why not talk about it? Why not talk about it? So just to give you a recap of what's currently going on, it's been now a month and 17 days. You would think that it'd be over now. It's like I just got to a point where I'm just like, you know what, just go ahead and call CPS. If that's what you want to do. Well, why are you harassing me and bothering me? Clearly it's not because you're worried about my child, because like it's literally a month has gone by at that point. Like over a month and a few days at that point, right? So when I got that letter, like I was so upset that I was just like, you know what, it's time for me to call the hospital and make them aware of what this doctor is doing. So I called the resource center, and it was like a thing. Like she seemed really supportive, whatever. But like bottom line, is she going to agree with Dr. Terrible, right? I don't know. But anyways, like here's the funny thing, right? So she hasn't called CPS for like a month, and I want to say a week, a month, a month and 3 days or something like that. A month and 3 days. As soon as I report her, she calls literally after that meeting that she was pulled in for a meeting, like to ask like what's going on here, right? The day that she was pulled into the meeting, guess what she did at the end of that meeting? She got on CPS and she called them. Is that like retaliation or what? Like literally, all she's been doing is threatening me, like three pieces of threat, right? That she's threatened me with a CPS thing, and then like on the day that I report her, she reports me. Literally, like, and I'm not reporting her to be cruel or rude or mean or try to get her into trouble or anything. I'm reporting her because it got to a point where she was just being like really intrusive, and she's being illegal. I mean, like, if you want to call, freaking call. You should have called like I'm glad she didn't, but I'm like, she could have, if she really was really scared or nervous for my child, whatever, she would have done it in that moment. You know what I mean? CPS has came to my home. They went to my child's school. They, you know, and she came here and she was like, oh, she was really pleased with everything. She was like, oh my god, the house is like so sparkling clean, like wow. And I'm like it's just so funny because like when I clean, forget about it. Like don't get in my way. I'm just like because I like to keep like a really clean house. It's messy on the weekends, but it's like super sparkling clean Monday through Friday. Okay, that's just how I do it. And whatever, but she was really pleased when she got here and we talked and stuff like that. But anyways, she had said that this doctor made such a bad report. Like, she was like, we were just really scared, and that's why we came here like as soon as possible, because she was here for like about an hour or something like that talking to me. But like I was basically just telling them like my side of the story about everything that she has been doing, you know what I mean? And I just want to make that abundantly clear. Hey, if that was like the wrong thing for me to do, it was the wrong thing for me to do. I don't think so. Like, I feel like I'm just standing up for myself and putting my 2 cents in. I think that everything that I needed to share, I would share, you know? But I had told her, I said, listen, I said, this woman made the first threat on the appointment day, and she has not called for like a month and a half, a week. And I said, you know, she decided to call on the day that she found out I reported her, and that's the facts. And I just said, you know, just because a doctor makes a report doesn't necessarily mean that it's coming from a place of any truth or anything like that. I said that, listen, I've moved on to a new hospital. Here's the name of my hospital, you know, And I also said I think that she's really upset because I didn't bring my child to where she wanted my child to go for a second opinion. And I think the reason why that was is because she was expecting to call these doctors and say, hey, the second opinion is going to be my opinion, right? But like now she's not going to get that opportunity. And I just didn't want to tell her where I was going to take my child, because I don't think that it's any of her business. As long as I can establish that my child is getting continued health care elsewhere, that's really all that's important. These people are cut off. I told this social worker, I said, I fired her. Like, she has no right to know what's happening within my family unit or my children. After this, my child is under new health care management. That's it, you know. And I said the second opinion is that you know, he does not need to be on feeding tubes or etc. But yeah, like the most. But like, can you believe that though? Can you believe that? But like, yeah. But like, so to end up the meeting that I had with the CPS lady, by the way, she was such a delight. She was so nice, right? So that really helped for me to keep calm and just keep my shit together, right? I didn't cry or anything like that. I was just I was expressing my case. You know, that's just basically what I did. Now, there was one thing that she had said to me, which kind of just made me say, you know what, you go, you know, I was saying in my head, like, you know, basically, you go take care of what you have to take care of. Like, do your research, call the people, talk to whoever you need to talk to, and then come up with your summation. But the thing that she had said to me where I was just like, damn, like, nobody can ever win once a doctor has made a complaint. She had basically said, you know what? She was like even if it's founded that there is no neglect and there's no neglect or child abuse, if we keep this case open, it's just going to be to see if you go to his doctor's appointments. So she said that to me, and I did say to her, I was like, did you see the paper where he never misses a doctor's appointment? Why is it that you don't take my history of what I do as a parent? Like, does that not matter? Like, why would you keep the case open just to see if he goes to these appointments when it's not even an issue, and you just told me that the doctor didn't have a problem with appointments. It was just this one thing that she felt like he needed to be on feeding tubes, and I had another opinion about that. So why would you keep the kid? Like, I'm saying at this kid, I'm not like pushing at her because I don't want to sound like confrontational or rude or anything like that. I just kind of have that mentality, just go ahead and you do your research, whatever. But like, believe me, I am going to like fight back. If they say like, oh, we're just going to keep the case open just to make sure that you take him to all of your appointments, yeah, believe me, no, that's not going to work out. It's absolutely not going to work out. I will be fighting, and I've been like researching myself. Like, there's actually two different entities that you can go, two departments that you can go to. So the first department is just basically to dispute what the reasons were to keep the case open, and if you're not happy with that, then you go to the head honchos, like, and yeah, believe me, if this case is open based on what she had told me, I'm going up this way and then some, because they're saying that that's where you can go, that's the top, but I know it's not the top. I can really take this elsewhere, right? Because I'm not like, I just don't like, I literally don't get that. Anyways, that was like the lamest thing that I've ever heard. Yeah, we might keep the case open because of this. Based on what? There's no neglect. There's no abuse. If they keep it open, that's just because the doctor made a report and they want to put it in there. The doctors and social workers, I think that they just support each other. So I don't know, I'm like really hoping that they make the sensible agreement that, you know, let's close the case because there's no child abuse, there's no neglect, we can't keep this case open in perhaps there might be neglect down the line. No, give me based off of what? Based off of mom's history of like, there's no neglect there of her ever not bringing her child to the appointments. But does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, but anyways, so yeah, you guys, like, man, like, this has really gotten me. Like, I'm a very strong woman. I really am. I'm a very strong woman. Like, all my old viewers will know that, like, I push to the no. Like, I don't take no for an answer. I keep pushing and pushing. But if I feel like I'm in the right, I'm going to push to the no. Like, you know what I mean? And that takes a very strong person. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to cry, like, you guys, because really, but like, they've broken me down to the point where I'm just like questioning. I'm like, am I a good mother? Like, I don't know. Like, I know that I am, believe me. Like, at the end of the day, I know I'm a really excellent mother, but I'm an excellent mother. But like, just that, like, these, when people start saying, like, people in places of power who can really have an impact in your life, I'm like, I'm starting to think like, And then I'm like thinking about all, because no mom is like absolutely perfect. So like I'm thinking about like the smallest things, and like that has grown out to other things. I'm like, you know, God, like things are just real shitty. Like I burnt my arm. Look, I burnt my arm. I burnt it. Like I was trying to make dinner, and I had to rush out, and I went to grab my keys off of the counter, and my arm touched the metal part, the long part of the crock pot, and so like now I have like this burn. You guys can't see it. It's just crazy. Yeah, I was just having like a really crappy time, and like I just have not been wanting to do anything that I feel like is fun in my life, or things that like really bring me pleasure. Pleasure is really important in order for me to take care of all the big stuff in my life, you know? And like I'm just stripped of that pleasure, and all I'm stuck with now is this. Yeah, you know, like I'm just feeling like sometimes I have like moments of where I'm just like, should I just like give in? Like if they keep this case open, should I just stop fighting? And like that, like it's like split down the middle. Like, bitch, you better not stop. I mean, no, you're not gonna stop fighting. You're gonna fight to the hill, no, to the nail. You're gonna. And the other part of me, be like, I'm tired. I'm so tired of this. I'm tired. You know. So I don't know. Like. Yeah, and then also I gained like a lot of weight in my stomach. Like this is where I gained weight, but I know that I gained like a lot of weight. I stopped going to the gym. Like I definitely am feeling tired a lot more, because like I was like working out, working my heart. I was getting a lot of more energy and stuff like that, but now I'm kind of feeling back to where I was. So I'm not gonna have to redo all that again. But yeah, you know, like I just want to say my battery's about to die. I want to end this by saying this. Oh, like the other thing that I was saying like to myself, like it actually felt good for me to say, you know what, my life sucks. I don't know why that felt good, but like, I was like, my life is shit right now. It's shit, right? And it felt good saying that. And I think the reason why that felt so fucking good to say that is because for the first time, like, well, I know I've been like telling myself the truth, but I felt like really in the first time in a long time, I'm telling myself the truth. Yes, right now, like my life not completely is not shit, but like this month and a half, my life has been shit. And it felt good saying that. I'm like, wow, finally, Ramona, you're saying the truth. It's the truth. Now we can get on to the next step of like trying to deal with what is. You know what I mean? And I just started laughing. And like, I also like, you know, here's like something that I was also thinking. I was just like, wow. I was starting to get angry at myself. I was starting to get real angry at myself because like I said, I've made videos where I've worked really hard on myself just to make my life feel really like a lot better. Like if you've known me before, it was just like I was like just spiritual depleted, and just the whole shebang. Like I don't know, things are just really bad because I was so negative, you know. And so for the past like 5-6 years or something like that, you know, I've really worked on myself. And so like all I can see is that silver frigging lining. The silver lining in every goddamn thing, right? So like I was actually getting angry at myself because like I'm like, Ramona, stop looking at that silver lining. Like, oh, like piles of shit. Imagine it. It's like piles of shit, and through that shit is a silver lining. And I'm always like trying to surf the lining, surf the silver lining, or at least like or at worst, but like at best, in the same way, stand back in a pile of shit and see, like, try to get a glimpse of that silver lining, if that makes sense to anybody. But I was just getting angry at myself because I'm just like, oh, stop being so positive, stop being such a cheerleader. Like sometimes it's okay to be like down and out and just let it go. Give yourself that permission to say, yeah, my life is fucking shit right now. It's shit. It just felt good. I don't know. Like I think I was giving myself permission to be angry. I was giving myself permission to like cry. I was giving myself permission to like just let it all out. Like a monster, just get this monster out of me. and being and I did that in a way of being truthful with myself, you know. And so yeah, that was like yesterday. And I start actually, yeah, like this weekend I just started doing that, and I just felt so much better. It was crazy because like I think that when you're really honest with yourself, when you're really honest with yourself, that's where the healing begins. That's when the clarity, it like, it's like, you ever see grease in a pot in a pan and then you drop some Dawn and then it disperses? It's basically what it is up here. Like if you be really, like, give you a dose of, a drop of being real with yourself, being real with your situation. And it's just crazy how the negativity just disperses. You know, you're not like cramped up, you know, like trying to hold it all in, you know what I mean? And so like now I feel like I'm more freer to like breathe, like really exhale, and then try to find new solutions. Because now that I erased my mind of shit, like it's not completely gone, but like I got rid of some of the shit, you know, the oil dispersed off to the side of the pan. Like I'm able to like think of better ways of trying to cope with what's the shit that's happening in my life, and then get myself back. So I've been like doing things that like I was like, what was I doing before all this happened? Like I said, I was losing weight, I was feeling great, I was going to the gym, I was actually going to the gym and loving it. I was actually going about 3 times a week, you guys, like no joke. So, and also I was learning French. I'm still learning French. I'm really happy. I've always wanted to learn that, and like I've been really busting my ass, like really working on that. And so yeah, and then just other things like and because of this like shit dispersal, dispersing of shit, like I'm also thinking about new ideas of what I want to really do, like other ideas. So it's all just a positive thing. I think that everything happens for a friggin' reason. Things happen for a friggin' reason. And you know, some of the reason I had said was if this didn't happen, I'd still be at a hospital where my child was not getting helped. Now we're at a hospital where it's like fresh minds. Can I tell you, this doctor, she actually calls me to talk to me, just check in to see, like, you know, how's things going. Like, so I know that CPS had called my office. Like, I know that they came. So like, how did that turn out? Like, she's freaking concerned, literally concerned from her heart. Care for not just the patient, which was my son, but the whole family unit. I would never have gotten that over at Children's Hospital, like never. Like this freaking doctor is like, oh, amazing, like petals gushing everywhere, like she's freaking awesome. And you know what? Sometimes to get through to the other side, to get the best shit in life, sometimes you have to walk on pebbles. Sometimes you have to go through the storm of like hail whipping you in your face, and walking through rose bushes with thorns tearing at your thighs. Like sometimes you have to go through the frickin' hell of life to get to the other side where it's greener and healthier and you're going to get the most, you know what I mean? So that's just, you know, that's just basically the way I'm thinking about it. And so like that path of like torture is just me like dealing with like this doctor and a CPS lady, and like I don't know what she's planning on doing yet. She's doing her investigation to close it or not close it. Yeah, so like I'm like trying to think, like, who cares if they came? Like, who cares if I didn't get my way completely? Like, that's another thing that I've also have been really putting through on my forefront of my mind. Which, like I said, like everything happens for a reason, but I also think that life is full of life lessons. Not just a life lesson last year, a life lesson this. No, life is on the daily a life lesson to learn, and sometimes it comes in a big chunk where it's a big thing that you have to learn. I do have some serious control issues, and that comes from a place of not where I've not had any control. I've had control taken away from me, and it was a very scary place. So now that I have the control back, I protect it with all of my strength, like all of who I am, you know. And sometimes I think that I was just getting to a point where I was just like, I build this like big ass brick ass wall that was like thick. Nobody was coming through that wall. Like, no, you know, like, do not mess with my family, do not mess with me, do not mess with my privacy, do not mess with my control, do not mess with anything. No, okay. And but I think I was getting to a place where like the universe was just like, you need to like really work on this. Like, you really need to work on this. You can't always have control. You can't control every nuance of your life. You know, you can't. Things are going to happen where you have to compromise. Things are going to happen where whether it's fair or unfair, sometimes you just can't get your way with things. And it's not about getting my way, but it definitely is the control factor. Sometimes just has to be like taken off and put it to the side. Like, sometimes you're just not going to win, even when it's really important to you. And even like, life is greatly fair, but sometimes it's not fair. Sometimes you're coming from a place like, and so then I was thinking like, I was on YouTube and I was like looking up all these stories, and I'm just like, where of examples of like where good people had things done to them that was not fair, but it happened to them nonetheless. Like, people who, they're athletes, and that's all they know is to be an athlete. It's the biggest joy of their life, but it's like they're runners or whatever, and then something happens where they lose a leg. That's freaking unfair. It's not right. And they had their complete control taken away from them. And that's just like one example, you know. There's like a lot of examples that I was coming across, and in the end, this is also something that I knew, but I really have not drunk it in to take it into me, which is the one thing I do know, which is a birthright that everybody has. You have the power of choice. Everybody's given that power to choose. No, it wasn't a choice that the CPS, this doctor did what she did, and the CPS people came, etc. It wasn't a choice for that athlete who lost their leg. You know, that happened. But you do have a choice to sit here, mope, and like be afraid and marry that, like, all that negative stuff that comes with the aftermath that people threw at you or life threw at you. Like, you can sit here and be absolutely miserable and bet it, you know what I mean? Or, you know, you can work through that somehow, some way, some shape or form. Like, you just got to get there, however long it's going to take, but you got to work hard daily and be tender with yourself, give yourself time and care, and be truthful and honest with your situation. And, you know, and that's the choice that you're choosing to do. And then once you do that, like, other opportunities are going to open up for you, other doors, other windows, things that were never in your wildest imagination before is probably going to be something that's very a part of your life, you know, this like new thing that entered your life, like, you know what I mean? So, like, that is a choice to choose to be like a whole lot happier. The last thing that I want to say, this is actually, I was going to make this like a totally separate video, and maybe I will, but I do want to touch on it a little bit. I know that I had made a video where I said this 2017 is absolutely going to be the year about being fed up about what happened in 2016. 2016, like, shit was happening. You're just unhappy. Like, me being in the children's hospital, where I was just totally miserable. Like, you guys, I was not happy. Like, I'm not going to go over and over and say it again and again, but I was just know that I was very unhappy with my child going there. I didn't know why, but I was just very unhappy. Okay, so but I was not changing it. I was not doing anything. I literally was doing nothing to change that situation. And I think that like that situation amongst everybody else's situation, like people are just staying in a very poor situation where they're unhappy. They don't like their job, they don't like the relationship they're in, but they have not gotten to that point to say, hey, listen, I'm not happy in this relationship anymore. Like things are just, you're just not womaning up or manning up to like say, hey, I'm fucking fed up with this shit. I don't want it in my life. No, you just live it and you just keep continuing on with it. So that was 2016. 2017 is really about like still, like the first part of the year is about the bullshit. Like now you're really getting freaking pissed off about it. Like you're really realizing what the problem issue is. And like I think that like the universe is like really telling you like just throwing it at you just to make you miserable, so goddamn miserable, until like you're just like, I have no other choice but to cut off what was not working for me. And I think so like the beginning of 2017 and like somewhere in the middle right there. For some it may take a little bit longer, but it's really about transitioning. And I think that like at the end of the year is going to be when you're like, okay, I got rid of that person, I got rid of that situation, I did. Now I have to emotionally and mentally adapt to that not being here, but simultaneously taking on a brand new way of life. You know what I mean? Maybe that's being single, maybe that's, I don't know, maybe there's a love interest somewhere in like the eaves, right, that you didn't touch on because you were over what's stupid. You know, like, I don't know. Or like for me, like with the hospital thing, you know, like I'm still kind of dealing with the same shit from leftovers from the children's hospital, but still I got my feet in with a really good situation, a really good doctor, a really good hospital, a very caring, like it's just a really good thing. Okay, so that's just all 2017. So this is just a little hope for everybody, you know. So if you're still feeling like the angst of 2017, believe me, at the end of the year, I can almost promise you that you're going to get in a better place. In 2018, you're just going to be like, like now I can like really enjoy the fruits of my labor of what I did there. So yeah, I think that with everybody, like the universe is just bringing you, like really putting what was really making you unhappy in 2016 is really making you miserable, but it's a good thing. That's like what life is. This is life, man. This is how it is. So with my situation today, you guys, like I'm just, you know, I'm a very spiritual person, and so I really use my spirituality to tap into like big time when I'm going through a real funk. I can get close to like falling low, but I never fall through that hole, you know, and that's because I'm very spiritual, and I've learned to love myself and take time with myself, care and be patient, and this too shall pass. So love everybody, and thank you for watching this. Like it was kind of funky at the beginning there, but now I feel kind of really hopeful. I love YouTube. I love YouTube. I'm like so happy with YouTube. I just love it. So I'm gonna say goodbye. Bye until next time, and thank you for being patient with me. My apple slices, we've united. Okay, bye.